Hello and welcome to another Texas Student Television News Update brought to you by KVR News. I'm Christopher Adams.
And I'm Natalie He. On Monday's newscast, we told you about the fatal wreck that happened on 30th Street and Guadalupe on Sunday evening. A driver lost control of her SUV and crossed several lanes of traffic going the opposite direction.
She hit several signs, a building, and two people waiting at a bus stop. One man died from his injuries and the other woman was hospitalized and is now in fair condition.
The driver has been identified as 59-year-old Linda Diane Woodman. Records say that Woodman was released from the hospital earlier that day and might have been heavily medicated when she crashed.
Police say Woodman is now charged with intoxication manslaughter and intoxication assault. She's now being held on a $55,000 bail in Travis County Jail.
The man who died was 61-year-old Dick Van Merton. Merton lived and worked in Charlotte, North Carolina, and was apparently visiting his family for the weekend.
Earlier this month, we reported about a former UT soccer player after she was hit by a vehicle at the intersection of 8th Street and San Jacinto. Kylie Doniak was walking with friends when Nicholas Colunga hit her and continued on. Police say he was chased down by witness Sisto Perez and taken into police custody. Yesterday, Perez was honored by a crime victim rights group and given a medal and a certificate of appreciation. Doniak is still in the hospital, but family and friends have blogged that doctors moved her out of ICU and she is showing signs of improvement. Today, there is a benefit in Kylie's name at any Austin area Chili's. 15% of your bill will go towards paying her medical expenses.
Well, good luck, Kylie. We wish you a speedy recovery. And Christopher, another thing about dangerous intersections is last fall we told you about the UT student who was ticketed for texting while walking. Well, that ticket was a part of the pedestrian initiative, which lasted about 3 weeks. It aimed to lower the number of pedestrian and motor vehicle accidents in Austin. APD just released the most dangerous intersections for pedestrians on Tuesday, and Cesar Chavez and Congress, along with Fifth and Lavaca, have been named the most dangerous, both with 8 auto pedestrian crashes just within the last year. Lamar and St. John's and Congress and Woodward are among the top 4 with 7 crashes since 2008. APD is still working to lower the number of these accidents, and last year 17 people were killed in auto pedestrian crashes. That number went up 150% from 2010, and so far there have already been 6 fatal crashes in 2012.
UT student government candidates Yamanda Tsai and Whitney Langston dropped out of the election earlier this week after their campaign's ethics were called into question. The Election Supervisory Board disqualified the Yaman and Whitney campaign Monday afternoon for violating the election code and committing fraud by misrepresenting itself to another campaign. Emails sent by Desai show him asking one of his campaign agents to lie to opponent Madison Gardner's campaign in order to obtain incriminating information about their financial records. Desai's campaign initially appealed the board's decision, but later suspended their campaign altogether.
The Supreme Court announced Tuesday that it is now taking a closer look at UT's admissions policies. This decision comes after a white female student claims she would have been accepted into UT, but because of her race, she was denied. Abigail Fisher, who's now a senior at Louisiana State University, filed suit in 2008. Her case brought the controversy of race-based admissions back to light and caused the Supreme Court to revise its 2003 decision to endorse affirmative action. The case is known as Fisher versus the University of Texas and will be heard sometime in the fall. UT President Bill Powers says, quote, "The state of Texas's top 10% rule drives most of the university's admissions." Powers also says a student's background and experiences are also important factors in creating a diverse entering class.
With less than a week before the Republican primaries in Arizona and Michigan, Rick Santorum is closing the gap on his rival Mitt Romney. A new poll released Tuesday shows Romney and Santorum in a statistical tie among likely voters in Arizona. Newt Gingrich was far behind in 3rd place, with Ron Paul trailing in 4th. 34% of respondents, however, said they were open to changing their minds. Tonight, the candidates will debate for a final time before the Arizona and Michigan primaries, as well as Super Tuesday on March 6th, when 10 states will be at stake. Meanwhile, a poll conducted in part by the University of Texas shows that Rick Santorum has a wide lead here in the Lone Star State. 45% of respondents said they are supporting Santorum, with Newt Gingrich in a distant 2nd place at 17%. Romney had 16% and Ron Paul 14%.
To stay up to date on the latest news, you can check KVR News every Monday night at 9, Christopher.
And you can also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/KVR News and like KVR News on Facebook.
With Christopher Adams, I'm Natalie He. Thanks for watching today's TSTV News Update. We'll see you on Monday.